She's playing the victim again, right? His mother laughed on the phone like it was a joke. Mom, she always cries when she's in pain, don't bother. The man laughed too. I heard every word loud and clear through the speaker. My sister curled on the kitchen floor holding her belly, sweat running into her mouth. Her water broke and the floor was slick with blood and amniotic fluid. Outside it was the cold afternoon light of a Boston winter. Inside the air smelled metallic and sharp. She gasped out between contractions. He said he had to go on a work trip and would be back tomorrow. I tightened my lips and shoved my sweater under her waist as a makeshift pad. He's in Hawaii right now, I said flatly. She froze then and didn't ask another question. I grabbed the phone and called him back. She's in labor now, I said. His laughter came through like a knife. Relax, she always does this, he sneered. Then his mother said with a smirk, tell her to stop acting, she just wants attention. They hung up. My hands were shaking, but not from fear, from cold like a bucket of ice dumped over me. I looked at my sister, who was biting her lip tight enough to draw blood. If I didn't do something, she might not make it. I sat on the bench outside the hospital for 2 hours while my phone buzzed with his messages. None of them caring, only ordering. Stay out of it. She chose this life, don't be a hero. If she leaves you, don't try to take the kid. Each line drove another nail into my chest. I didn't reply. I just stared at the red light above the delivery room door. Nurses rushed by and the antiseptic smell filled the corridor. My sister had shoved her wedding ring into my hand during a vicious contraction, and my fingers still hurt from the pressure of her nails. 2 winters ago, when they just moved into that suburban house, I knocked and heard him yelling inside. Can't even cook dinner, he barked. My sister said quietly that she had an upset stomach. He sneered, stop making excuses, are you a princess just because you're pregnant? When I opened the door, his smile vanished and was replaced by a harsh contempt. You single girls love telling others how to run a marriage, he spat at me. That insult lodged in my throat and wouldn't leave for days. After that, every family dinner was a slow burn of humiliation. His mother mocked out loud, no boyfriend yet for your sister, no surprise with that temper. My sister smiled and smoothed things over, but I saw her fingers wide under the table. I later found out they planned to trap her. They transferred the house title and merged accounts and the child insurance all under his name. She thought it was trust, but it was a noose. Once she messaged me in secret, he moved all my bank money to his account. When I asked why she didn't fight, she said, I'm pregnant, I can't. That night I couldn't sleep with rage coiling in my chest. She kept defending him, saying he was under pressure. I knew shouting wouldn't help. People in love get numb, not strong. I remember most clearly the day she went to a prenatal check alone. He wouldn't go. She walked in the snow with her test bottle and charts nearly falling. I found her by the bus stop, shoes soaked with slush. She only smiled and whispered, don't tell Mom. That was the spark that lit the fire under me. Now the fire had burned all the way through. In the hospital corridor, I opened my laptop and wrote a list. Step 1, freeze the assets. Step 2, gather evidence. Step 3, make the truth public. My sister screamed through labor and I felt a cold clarity instead of panic. I wasn't a saint and I wasn't a vengeance addict. I just wanted them to taste the contempt they'd given her. When the nurse told me she was close to delivering, I had already backed up every recording screenshot and chat log to the cloud. Including the call of the mother-in-law laughing she's acting. Including his beach selfies with captions about freedom. This time they would not define her. A boy pushed a soda cart and smiled at me in the corridor. His grin made me think of my sister before all of this, warm, timid and too kind. I told myself that kind of person could not survive in that world alone. So I acted. Months earlier she told me he had transferred the house into his name secretly. I told her I would help and she smiled wanly. I'll survive, she said. Now she was in the delivery room fighting for her life and he was in Hawaii on vacation. I opened the lawyer chat and typed freeze everything in his name. Why, the lawyer asked. Abandonment, I wrote and stared at the door of the delivery room. I called an old college friend who worked as an editor at a local paper. I have a story, I said. I have the recordings. I sent the clip of the mother-in-law's laugh. At 3 in the morning my sister gave birth to a baby girl. She was so weak she could hardly speak, but she gripped my hand once. Don't be afraid, I whispered, I will handle it. By morning I was at the bank and the freeze order was in place. The lawyer pulled the deed and the transfer had a forged signature. This is fraud, he said. We can seek temporary custody and protect the assets. At noon the Boston Globe posted the story. Headline and audio and the kitchen photo from outside the delivery room with blood on the floor. The reaction was instant and fierce. Is this man fit to be a father? Commenters wrote. His company issued a suspension by 2 in the afternoon. By 9 that night his mother's social pages were gone. I didn't watch their panic unfold. I held my sister while she slept. When she woke she whispered, they will hate me. I shook my head, they already hate themselves. 3 days later the court approved an emergency asset freeze and a criminal probe began. That house under his name was now considered proceeds of fraud. We signed the papers and the title transferred back to her name. A week later he returned from Hawaii into a wall of reporters and camera flashes. He wanted to explain it away, but I walked up and thrust an envelope into his hand. He opened it and went pale. Inside was a court summons, a copy of the baby's birth certificate and the screenshot of his mother laughing on the phone. I said, you said she was acting, now you can act in court. His face emptied of color and he couldn't find words. Also I added, that house now belongs to her, you can try sleeping in your car. I left him there stunned. My sister recovered slowly. She kept quiet and soaked up sunlight while holding her daughter. When reporters asked her to speak she declined and asked me to say one line for her. Don't take revenge for me, someone already did it. He lost his job and his reputation. I heard later he took a minimum wage job at a gas station pushing boxes in a reflective vest. People cheered online when photographs showed him loading pallets. One day at the convenience store I bumped into him. He froze when he recognized me. I handed him a paper bag and said, here. He opened it to find diapers, a photocopy of the court judgment and a note. Next time you cry from pain, remember this feeling, you are not the first one who suffers. His lips trembled and he couldn't speak. I smiled and left into the harsh cold light that felt almost blinding. Some call me heartless. But I had only learned not to cry for them anymore. We those quiet ones who do not shout. When we move, it is the end of the story.